Welcome to You Could Talk Chalk, a space where we chat with odd-defying, way-making, change-agent entrepreneurs. We hope you enjoy their stories, insights, and experiences, and it inspires or encourages you to continue on your entrepreneurial journey. Because you could talk chalk, we're going to get it done. What's up, YCTC fam? Welcome back to another episode of You Could Talk Chalk. And our topic today is mastering fear, transforming fear into power. And who's going to guide us through this topic is Dario Greenidge. What's up, Dario?
I'm good, Rashida. How are you?
Welcome on the pod. I am good, thank you. 13 years this December. 13 years in business this December. I remember when you first started on Bank on Me. I really love that show. I thought it was a good support mechanism for small businesses. So tell me about your journey from leaving a financial institution, starting a business, being on a show, supporting small businesses, evolving your business to something else. Tell us about that journey and how that was for you.
Shine was, as I tell people all the time, it was an interesting start because it didn't start with me having a great passion for cars. I can't say that I was like, oh my God, I can pursue my passion. This is what I want. This is something I used to do at home or on the side. I was literally in a conversation one weekend with some friends, and we were talking about the vehicle population of Barbados. And the guy mentioned that there's 100,000 cars on the road. And I was like, 100,000 cars? You should go out and get clean. Once a year, at least 20 a pop. I was like, that's $2 million. I could do $2 million.
Truly a numbers man, huh?
Yeah. And being a young upstart at the time, 21 years old, feeling like I could take over the world. I just decided, I can go back to work next week, resign from work, and again, see if I could wash this 100,000 cars.
Just like
that. So I didn't have that, I was passionate with this thing. I thought about it. I did a whole set of research, and it was $2 million. I could retire my mother early and live a comfortable life and resign and do it. And shortly after I resigned and started, I realized that it is almost impossible to wash every single car on the road. And it's going to take a lot more than just a wish or a dream to be able to achieve that. So the harsh realities of business and of entrepreneurship really set in from day one. And within a couple of weeks, I realized that this is possibly going to be the hardest journey I've ever encountered.
All right, so before we get into the fear questions, I ask everyone on the pod this question. What is your definition of an entrepreneur?
That's such an interesting question. Because entrepreneur, I could only define it in the context of myself. As an entrepreneur, I'd say I am someone who was able to give birth to something that was once a dream. And then take that infant of whatever it is, in this case it's Shine Automotive, and develop it over a course of time, nurture it over a course of time, and add your bells and whistles and kind of create what could be a sustainable means of opportunity for myself and of compensation and opportunity for others as well. And ultimately build something that could offer value not only to myself and to my immediate team, but certainly to my customers and quite possibly in this case to Barbados and at some stage the Caribbean.
If y'all want to be too cool for school, do they still say that? Y'all need to cop this drop that's coming from Ministry of Style. Raj launched Republik 21 in April 2023 at the Riches Caribe event in Golden Square, the very first of its kind. October 23 is season 1, drop 2 for the new brand that celebrates Barbados and its recently acquired Republic status. It articulates a creative vision of self-determination and personal value for the people of Barbados. Raj Paul renders strictly Barbadian themes, motifs, and iconography into tailored, reworked, and top-quality imprinted street-style apparel. Slow fashion, mindful design, and collectible vibes that rep your favorite island in the sun are all available at Raj's Republik 21 brand. Get you some of that streetwear, guys. Let's head back to the pod. Fantastic. I watch in the wings. I live on social media because of my job, and I've just seen the consistent evolution of you actually being in the vehicles working, where a lot of people was grumbling would say, how are you a business owner? You're still washing cars. But that's where you got to start, because I feel like the only way you can guide your team is if you know where you're guiding them from. To know a full-on from the retail box that you started at in 2020, and now for the store where you've moved a little further from where you were originally. Yeah. And with your character that is taking over the social media way, everybody seems to like this. You should have brought the cowboy hat. So I know there had to be some level of fear in there to make those moves. What strategies or mind shifts helped you overcome stepping into those uncharted waters? You said you resigned from the bank and made that quick decision. There had to be some fear. How did you manage that?
Yeah, I think disappointment was one of the first emotions I think I had in the early stages. You know.
Yep.
I remember when I left the bank, I always would say, man, the worst that can happen is that my friends, whether my friends from the bank or friends from university at the time, them is the people that can support me, so I can be able to get through. And the reality is that, and there's no thing. It wasn't the case where your friends didn't intentionally support it, but your friends could only do so much in terms of bringing the car so many times and that kind of thing. So you need to find persons outside that to support you and sustain your business. And I think dealing with the disappointment that you now need to go after a new customer, audience, a new audience, and that kind of thing. That was one of the things that I developed. I moved from disappointment to like a fear area of like, how do we get a customer? I ain't got the money for the marketing, and the first marketing technique that I used actually was I printed a newsletter called the Business Buzz, and it was just really an introduction to the person reading it to Shine Mini Valley and Car Wash at the time that we were in at our new location. We had just opened these services that we're offering, and I dropped that in every single mailbox I could find in Black Rock and in Rotondo and Grisettes and those areas.
Really?
And that I was able to get my first couple of customers through that. And then I found, because of I guess how I was able to be a little more dynamic and maneuver there, that kind of helped me overcome challenges I would face after. So I mean, when it comes to business, there's always fear. There's always fear. For me, one of my biggest things was disappointing those persons that, or rather proving those persons that thought that resigning was a mistake, proving those persons right. And I remember at the time, there were almost everybody around me. I mean, whether the people I work with or my friends was like, all right, this is a bad idea here. This business thing. My mind, you're 21 years old, you could go and do this and you go and do that. You had a good job at the bank, So one of my greatest fears was proving those persons right. And that made me get up every day, and I worked 7 days a week at a time. That made me get up every morning, whether I got 10 cents in my pocket or I got $100, I was able to get up every day and go to work. And if one car come or if 10 cars come, my mode of operation would be the same. And I think that was one of the greatest fears that propelled me during that period. And you had asked about things like coping mechanisms. And this is something I discovered later on in business. And I think one of the best things an entrepreneur could do is make sure that he has persons, or he or she has persons around them that could add value and perspective to their journey.
For sure.
Whether it be in the form of mentorship, whether it be in the form of just a listening ear, whether it be in the form of somebody who could point them in the right direction in terms of advisor or consultant, that is so important.
It is.
One of the best things for me in business is that I met a couple of people that were willing to pour into me and to pour into my journey without any immediate demand for compensation.
Return on investment.
And I pay homage to those people every single day, because without them, I don't think I would be where I am today. That's just a reality, And I encourage entrepreneurs, and it happened. It's not a case where I went out seeking those people. It's that I just made up my mind, it's something I want to do. I got serious about what I want to do. I cut out all the distractions, and those persons found the way into my journey. And I think that's one of the most important things any entrepreneur could do.
That is a big topic, like cutting out distractions and having a support team, I think, are two things a lot of entrepreneurs suffer greatly with. They don't understand that you gotta focus, like literally hyper focus in at least the first 5 years to know this is what you want. I've been doing, and I bounced, and I have a lot of things that I do, but I've had my social media management and virtual assistant business since 2016, part-time, full-time, back and forth. And I only really honed in on understanding hyper-focus when I left my last job. I just got to the point of life is too short and I really want to give all of what I know I can to my business. But having that support system and being okay to get constructive feedback. A lot of us don't like to hear when we're wrong. A lot of us don't like to hear when we're doing something wrong. We're doing it our way, but somebody else's perspective on how it can be done can be so valuable to how you do it, right? But I feel like a lot of us, once we zone in, like really, really hyper focus on what we are trying to accomplish, we can do so much more. And working together, I was against mentorship for a long time because I felt like we use the word mentor too loosely. But I've been blessed like you to have people who've been in this for a long time and can give me a perspective that I may not have seen before. And it has made my business evolve and get so much better over time. So I think mentorship is a really great way to manage and navigate through small business ownership and the fears and doubts that comes with it, right? So you mentioned something about 100,000 vehicles, and that was your goal, was to wash 100,000 vehicles. But you've evolved it now into like a solution-based entity. Tell us about, and you've done that through innovation. So you've created your own product. Tell us a little bit about that and how you evolved from just that beautiful conversation of washing cars to the different channels and avenues that you've created for Shine.
You know, it's interesting because, as you said, when we first started, I wanted to wash the 100,000 vehicles. And I tried focusing on that and I tried to execute that for a couple of years, but I was just really spinning top in my one, I wasn't reaching that target. Two, it just felt as though I was more of a self-employed person, really just making enough money to be able to survive, to eat, to drink. And that is not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to build something. So I started to really immerse myself into the industry and the automotive industry from a more solution perspective. And at that same time, I had just done or about to do, I think I was doing the Bank on Me show, where for the first time in my entire journey, I was able to pitch what I thought was my business to people who have, you know, who are professionals, who did business, who do business, all that kind of thing. And the feedback I got from those persons helped me to actually shape what would be the business today. Because I thought I had this real good idea to be able to do this and to do that, but a lot of things were not actually practical. And some of the things weren't necessary. So because of Bank on Me, I was able to come up with a proper business model. And because I was able to look at the business from a more of a macro scale, like where I really want to take this business, what I really want to do. And after being able to redesign the business because of that feedback, led me to changing the name to Shine Automotive. It led me to saying, all right, well, I really need to, because on Bank on Me, creating a product line was only an idea. But one of the mentors there, a guy called David Levine, he said, but Dario, you could do this here. This is possible. And I said, you sure? But you went to this body and that body already and tell me that it can't work. He said, nah. You could get this here too. So we moved from having just an idea on Bank on Me for the purpose of the show, for me coming out of Bank on Me and saying, all right, I need to pursue what could be my own product line. And, you know, it's so interesting. Literally after Bank on Me, after going to other people during Bank on Me that told me, no, we can't do the product line, your number's so small, I met someone who eventually became my chemist and who produced the product for my new product line. I mean, rest in peace, he actually died a few years ago. But those guys, again, were instrumental because them guys came, yeah, this is possible. We could do this here, we could make this happen. And these older guys was in their 70s. And these guys literally came out of retirement to help a youngster develop a product line. When other people, you know, thought it was garbage. And, you know, I appreciate that experience in terms of being able to develop a product line. Just showed me that you could literally set a goal and you could have it as a goal, or you could work actively towards it and actually see it become a reality. And Bank on Me pretty much helped shape and design everything that I need to do after that.
Would you, if possible, and you could do something like Bank on Me again, would you be a part of it, and would you encourage small business owners to take part?
Definitely. I would, as a matter of fact, one of the projects that I would like to do with my team, as in my group of entrepreneurs, is something similar, but where we do it at a level where we actually provide some level of resources for the people involved. So whereas bank company only the winner in most cases would get the resource or whatever, we want to be able to provide a platform where persons on a regular basis, you got an idea, you could basically picture an idea, whether it be digitally or physically, to a round of people, and have those persons give you feedback, provide resources, provide capital, all the other things. And that kind of is really where my whole crowdfunding concept of Crowdit came into place, where I understand that access to certain resources is scarce for some people, but the resources exist. It's just a matter of matching the resource to the person or the purpose of the resource. And I just wanted to be able to create that whole Crowdit platform where, and it's not just about money, but it's about providing, if the person wants legal or HR or marketing support or whatever, you could provide that. If it's financial support they want, we got that could be facilitated. If it's just a mentorship, that could be provided as well. So it's being able to create a platform that provides access, democratized access to resources that entrepreneurs ultimately need.
Democratized access, I like that. A lot of us don't have, or we believe that there aren't any support systems for us. And a lot of small business owners suffer with the finances. Let's just start there.
Yeah, for sure.
The financial aspect of business or running a business is hard, but it also comes down to unfortunately, a lot of small business owners don't understand the numbers, and there's no one to help push that. So you may think crowdfunding is more finance, but it could be a hub. It's a support system to cover all the bases of running a business. It's not linear at all. So it each one teach one, and it really is a good situation to help one another.
And just to add to that, the concept of crowdfunding, and as you said, is not just about finance, because here it is. The more people you have exposed to your brand, the more people you have that are willing to tell people about your brand. And customers I ultimately drive your business. So you don't necessarily need to have people invest in your business directly. But if you got 1,000 people out there telling people, yeah, boy, I just see this thing called Shine online, boy, and it look real good. You should carry there. This person might not even have a car.
Correct.
But just by them advocating on your behalf, they've invested indirectly in your business. And that is the whole concept behind Crowdit. It's not just for people to invest money to get a return, but it's for entrepreneurs to have access to a crowd of persons who are willing to become voice pieces, who are willing to become support systems, everything pretty much for their businesses.
You have a timeline for how you're going to roll out this Crowdit?
No, that's a very fluid idea at the moment. It's just something that I have that has met some resistance, but I'm willing to share the idea simply because it is not something that's proprietary to me. And the more I share it, the more I might be engaging somebody else that might be able to add another part of the puzzle. And hopefully we could bring it to fruition at some stage. Hopefully.
It sounds like something that's needed. We have seen some kind of movement and support since COVID, because I believe small businesses is really what propped up this island through COVID.
For sure.
And to some extent, we've seen a bit of a relaxed mindset when it comes to the supporting of small businesses to some extent. I think it's still too hard to get financial support as a small business. I think you still have to go through too much loops. It's really crazy how you can walk into a bank and instantly get a loan for a car, but to go into a bank as a small business owner and get financial support is like pulling a tooth without anesthetic. And I think that's ridiculous, but that's another topic.
Shine Automotive, located on Black Rock Main Road, St. Michael. Our retail division, The Autobox, caters to a wide range of products, accessories, and car care essentials. On the service side, we offer a range of automotive solutions from the basic interior and exterior cleaning to full interior detailing, exterior detailing, and we also specialize in a range of paint protection and paint correction services. Feel free to give us a call to book your next appointment. You know the line is 252-9099.
In the mind of fear and doubt, give us some tips of how you think you can acknowledge doubt, because you have to acknowledge doubt while still moving forward and use it as a viable learning experience for business growth. What advice would you give small business owners as you may doubt your idea but still keep going?
I think as an entrepreneur, you have a right to be an optimist and an eternal optimist at that. So we usually because we a lot of us are first generation entrepreneurs.
Yep.
You know, we don't have the experience and the benefit of someone teaching us how to do it, right? We usually say, what if it don't work out? But I'm some persons look at it from the opposite. What if it does work out?
Yeah.
And I am someone, I just paint the grandest picture of whatever it is I doing first. And then I just let that kind of motivate my steps in between there, because I just always think that it is possible. And just to go back on your point with the bank, like I used to be of the notion that banks create roadblocks for entrepreneurs. I've changed that slightly, and I realize that entrepreneurs just need to find the right banks. And yes, there are some banks that are a little more rigid as it relates to risk than others, but the reality is that there are institutions out there, and Finaccess being one of them for sure, and you got like I don't know if you want me to mention any, but
yeah, you can.
And Submersion Bank being another. There are some entities out there for sure that you could, as an entrepreneur, you feel comfortable going into those institutions and saying no and having a conversation. And it is not necessarily a case where, because the responsibility goes both ways. The bank has a criteria, and as an entrepreneur, you got to understand that the bank's got a criteria because they need to meet the expectations of their shareholders. As an entrepreneur, you also got to go criteria. You also got to determine who's the person that you want to support your business, because you're not out here begging for money. You're looking for somebody to partner with you.
Correct.
Because as you grow, they grow as well. And I think it is important for us to see the value in the partnership, as opposed to thinking we're just going to the bank to beg for money. We're going to look for a partner so that as we grow and develop our business, they have the opportunity to say, well, listen, we've been able to grow and help these series of entrepreneurs. So I think by changing that perspective, and that has a lot to do with the doubt. You see, if you don't believe in your dreams, you don't believe in yourself, you can't do it.
Say it again.
If you don't believe in your dreams and you don't believe in yourself, it's hard for you to walk in an institution and convince somebody that they should support you, that they should give $1 million and do what you do. But if you walk in a place, and I guarantee any entrepreneur could try it, you really start to believe in yourself and believe in your dreams, and you got your stuff together. You could walk in 10 institutions, 8 might tell you no, but guarantee somebody they can tell you yeah.
Somebody's gonna say, and I back the challenge of doubt when I ask my social media clients to tell me about your business. Simple questions of tell me about your business. And they stutter. They and I'm like, if it's anybody that has to know this tall, like backwards in your sleep is you, because it's your business. So if you cannot articulate, like I have another thing I talk to my clients, well, what's your elevator pitch? Like if you had 15 seconds, 7 seconds with the richest man in the elevator going from one floor to the other, how would you grab his attention? Can't do it. So doubt ripples through us, and it starts from not being completely concrete in what it is we're doing, and not being able to articulate that. You should be able to tell me off the bat, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm trying to accomplish, this is how I'm going to get up to it. And that person, like you say, is your partner. And I love that you said we ain't going to beg the bank for money, because that's the rhetoric, man, I'm going to beg the bank for this $50,000 here to see if they can help me. No, I'm going to have a conversation with a bank representative to partner in financing my idea. That does sound a lot better.
Yeah, definitely.
That sounds a lot better.
Furthermore, I think it's really the entrepreneur is giving the bank the opportunity. The bank should be begging the entrepreneur, because the entrepreneur because the truth is who really needs who. Who really needs who? I think the bank need the entrepreneur more than the entrepreneur the bank, because guess what? The right entrepreneur can find enough customers to eventually fund the business. But if the bank got too much liquidity, it puts pressure on the bank and the entire market. So at the end of the day, and you hit the nail on the head there just now, like the reason why a lot of entrepreneurs can't necessarily articulate exactly what they do or what their business is about is because they haven't reached the point where the business has become a significant feature in their journey or in their life.
Correct.
And when because a lot of we entrepreneurs, we still think, man, I just doing a little thing here.
A little thing here.
But the truth is that when you say you're doing a little thing, that thing is still a little thing. when you become obsessed with your business and you become so devoted to that is almost like a religion, and you got the faith like it is a religion in your business. It's a different mode. And I tell people I wear designer every day because it's on my brand.
I wear my brand every day. Like I'm building a conglomerate.
Yeah, and that is the way how you feel. I feel as though I'm building a conglomerate. I am no different to one of the Fortune 500 companies out there.
Jeff Bezos. I'm no different.
Yeah, I just ain't quite get there yet. But
you can get there.
But
it's almost like functional delusion.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like
I actually like that. Functional delusion.
You have to be functionally delusional. Yeah. I tell myself all the time, this is just my startup story when I go on Oprah. Like I started with my virtual assistant business, social media agency, had a podcast, and now I have a multi-million-dollar conglomerate that supports small business.
Multi-billion-dollar.
You know what I mean?
You see, we got to get onto that $1 billion realm.
Soon. You got up it now. So
I ain't that $1 billion realm.
I agree. I totally saw functional delusion. I saw something on TikTok. It was like the Lulu is a Salulu, and I was like, I love that.
I love that
because you have to. It sounds crazy. It's not. But sometimes the delusion of, or you may call it manifestation, people have a lot of terms for it, but you have to speak into existence your life. For sure. Nobody else is going to do it for you. And through fear, through doubt, you have to actually take that fear and that doubt and transform it. You could do two things. You can stay in the fear and not see where you go, or you can use that fear to like catapult you through where you want to. So we're going to wrap this up because you kind of answered two of my questions already. I'm not going to answer them again. How have you managed, or how would you advise small business owners to harness fear as a driving force to innovate? And I love the fact that you have an element of innovation in your business to innovate and push boundaries in business ownership.
First of all, I would answer it a little different, and I would say I've managed to delete fear from my existence, because fear is something that's leave you to contract. But what I do, again, I'm a big dreamer, and I got these blue books at home. I got like 6 or so blue books at home that over the years, every year I would start the year by writing down all these elaborate things I want to do in my business. And I tell people in 2021, after we had just opened the store, and I said, I want got my own location, and I just decided to go and get a graphic artist to do an artist impression of what my renderings. My new location would look like. And I actually cannot explain how 2 years after, but you just having that rendering, I literally had that rendering on my dinner table at home. I printed out big as like a plan, and I had it on my dinner table, and it just took me seeing that every day. And a few other bits and pieces and that kind of thing that fall into place, and I was able to achieve that goal. And the truth is that when I first endeavored on it, so many people tell me, I never forget. I actually, a guy at an institution, a finance institution, asked me when I proposed the idea to him. He said, "But why would you want to expand your business to this scale?
Why not?"
I ain't gonna ask you why not. I said, well, this is the end of I talking to the wrong person. This is the end of this conversation. Because if you could look at my business plan, which is carefully thought out, and the fact that I actually want to do this should be a reason for you to say, well, this
I want to be a part of this.
Yeah. But he said, why would you? And I said, well, look, I actually having the conversation with the wrong person. So I ended that conversation right there. But I use the fear of, because I've been able to delete fear, it doesn't mean that fear doesn't exist around me. Yeah. People around you will try to inflict their fears on you and tell you why this is impossible, why you shouldn't do this, why you shouldn't do that. And I use that, I harness that fear, and I take that and I put that into every single thing and create an energy with it to be able to achieve every single thing that they think is impossible. Right. Because it might be impossible for you because of your journey, your experience, and that's fine. But nothing is impossible for me, because at the end of the day, I am a billionaire waiting to just there's a yacht in Dubai for me.
Just waiting.
So
facts, so much facts. I love it.
Yeah.
I like what you said in the beginning. You said you had to make sure that you'd improve your naysayers right.
Yeah.
Like if it's any tip that you can give anybody, is make sure you don't prove your naysayers right. and everybody around you has the negative. They're very quick to go to the negative. This can't work. You don't have enough money. You don't you don't know enough people. And if it's any song you can continue to play in your head to kind of encourage you, would be the naysayers. Prove them.
Yeah.
Do not ever prove them right.
Don't prove them right.
You've been doing this, as you mentioned, or I mentioned, December this year will be 13 years.
13 years.
What would you tell your 18-year-old self?
It's such a difficult question because I would like to be able to advise him so that he does not make the mistakes that he did make. But the reality is that it was such a beautiful journey, both the ups and the downs, that I would want him to experience it. But if it's one thing I would tell him is to never, I would just reassure him to never give up, you know, because there were some points in there that, you know, especially when in them for between like 21 and 23, where things was, it was looking at things and like, I know, man, because at the time that I resigned from the mine, a couple of my partners resigned too, and some of them said, "Nah, boy, like that, we're just saying getting back and look for a job."
Really?
And I was like, "Yo, maybe
I
do the
should."
same.
Yeah.
So I was just want to reassure him that, you know, it's all gonna work out. Don't give up. Just keep doing what you're doing, you know.
All right, so tell the good people of YCTC where they can come find you now that we have our own space.
Yeah.
Services you can get and how we can get into contact.
You can find us. We are actually on Black Rock Main Road right now. So the easiest thing to do, because it's a new property to the eye, so it is easy to drive past. But the location videos and Google locations are on Instagram, so feel free to visit us there. Of course, Shine Barbados or Shine Automotive, you'll find us on most social media platforms. But we are on Black Rock Main Road, and we are offering a range of automotive solutions, from the basic interior and exterior cleaning, full detailing. We got a store, the Auto Box, and of course you could find your greatest assistant there, my man Texas Black. And if you need us, as always say, you know the line is 252-9099.
YCTC fam, that has been our episode on transforming fear into power. And you know what we say, you could talk chalk, we're gonna get it done. Thanks for watching YCTC fam. Be sure to spread the word and encourage others to take in these gems from our local entrepreneurs. Also follow us on all social platforms at You Could Talk Chalk. See you next time.